Hi, my name is Mr. Cody Blair. I'm going to teach you how to make a watch band out of paracord. It's 350. It's not as tough as 550, but it's okay. So, some basic tools you'll need is scissors. I've got a spoon and a lighter. A butane torch will actually work a lot better as far as being able to control where you want the flame to go. So, let's get started. First of all, I just want to say I've seen a lot of videos on making watch bands. The most ones I've seen is where they use any kind of stitch like this and or similar. What they do is they just take these bands off. They take the springs out and then they just plop them on top and then they stitch them right to it. There's a few problems with this. First, this watch is already thick enough. So if I have it on my wrist, it's going to be really bulky. It's going to be hitting stuff more than regular. So what I've done is a little bit simpler, and not including that, once you do have this stitch, every time you want to replace the battery, you're going to have to take this apart, take it off, and then going to have to replace it and then put the band back on, which is sort of a hassle. So this I really don't like. So I've already done half of this, and as you can see, it's pretty much out of the way. I haven't really burned these off yet. I just cut them short. So I'm going to show you how to do the first part of this. I'm going to deconstruct this, and then I'm going to show you how I started from here and I made it to there. So first of all, I'm just going to take this apart, and hopefully I can make this clear enough where everyone can see what I'm doing. So these is mostly a two-step braid. So it's actually pretty easy. If it's your first braid, it might not be the easiest. So you start off with making these the same length. And of course, this is just for demonstration purposes. So first, I'm going to start off like this. You're going to have a hook or something on there to make it sure that it doesn't really move. You're going to fold it over back towards itself. So after you've done that, you're going to have two loops. You're going to have the right side and you're going to have the left side. So you're going to take the left strand that's trailing off and you're going to wrap it all the way around all these, so it's going to look like this. And of course you want to do this tighter than I am showing, so I'm just doing this to show you how to do it. So you wrap it under this one and then back underneath here. So at this point, it's going to look like this. Next, you're going to grab the strand that we just ran underneath the right side and underneath the left side, pull it back over the left side, under the right, and it's like this. Next, you're going to take this right side, you're going to run it underneath this left, over the right, under the left, and it's going to look like somewhat like this. So hopefully you can sort of see it. It looks like a mess right now, but it's all going to make sense. So, and then you can also run it underneath this loop to the forward, to the front. So it's going to look like this. You just pull it together tight, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, and then cinch it up, and then keep pulling. Push it up, pull it tight, and it's look like that. You have your first stitch done. Now the second step is easier since you've already got your paracord together. The first part is the hardest, so if you want to keep referring back to the first step, go back to that. You're going to take the right side, you're going to run underneath the right loop, over the left, and then you're going to take this left side, run it over the strand, under the left loop, over the right, and then you're going to run this through the loop to the back, and then you're going to tighten it. And then cinch it up and tighten it up. Now the looser that you do these these loops is the wider that the brace is going to be. So say you want to do it really tight, it's not going to end up like this. It's going to end up really sort of narrowish. So just to show it one more time, you're going to run this left side over the first loops, under the second, and you run this right side under, over, under, and through the back to the front, and then cinch it up. It's going to look like a pencil. So if it doesn't look like a pencil every time that you do this stitch, you might have something wrong. So just to keep that in mind. So just tighten it up, and then again do the second part, which is under the loop, over the loop. This left strand's going to go over, under, over, and through the loop to the back, and then cinch it up. Now you just want to keep repeating those 1-2 steps all the way until you reach this. So that's what I did for this. Just keep replaying those. So for this part, I'm actually going to do this left side over here. So what you're going to do is you're going to flip the watch over to get the band off, and then you're going to grab a spoon or whatever you have laying around. You're going to push this band as far as you can down and pop this spring out. It should pop right out. Now you want to grab this pin out, and you want to see this little indentation in there. Basically just put the spring back in. Hopefully you know how to put the spring back in. So okay, so my spring's back in. It's not going anywhere. So I know the size of the wristband that I need to make. It needs to be about the length of this. Since I have an adjustable part, it really doesn't need to be exact science on it. So basically I'm going to go like that, move my bands aside. I'm going to grab my adjustable D-link, and I'm going to grab another rope. And what I'm going to do is get this over here, loop it through one side, make sure the lengths are actually equal. So from this side all the way to this side, they are equal. I'll move this over here. Actually, did this wrong already. So I'm going to make sure they're equal. I'm going to put the loop through like that, and then you're going to run this line through the loop, both these strands through the loop. Pull tight, and then you got this little cow hitch here. So now you got that, and they're both the same length. So I'm not going to need this long of a cord. It's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to repeat the first step again. So we're going to find out how long we need it. So I'm going to lay this here, have it over here, and then that's going to be my end, and it's not going to be long at all. So I'm going to make it from here to here. So that's all I really need. It's not going to be a very long piece. So I'm going to make it this right here. I'm going to hold it back. It's going to be a very, very short band. So I'm going to put these together and then run this left all the way around the front to the back. You have those 2 loops that I mentioned. Now 1, 2, bring this left over, under, and bring this right. It's going to go under, over, under, and then you're going to make a loop over here and then pull it to the front, under, and then through the front. Now, I'm not really making it for the feet of paracord. I'm making it more for the style and accessibility to the back. If you really need paracord to save your life, this little watch band isn't going to do it anyways, so make sure that this is tight. And there you have your first band, or your first knot. So just keep moving it up, and then you're going to start from the left, go under, over, and take this left strand and go under, over, and through loop to the back. Tighten it up. It should be good. Okay. Now what I forgot to do is actually run this through the piece itself, so I can just undo this spring real quick. Run it through both of these, and then put the spring back in before I finish my this bar. So I'll put it back in. Quick, snapped it in, and perfect. So make sure that these are tight again. This is not going to be very long. Alright, now you're going to start over again, so it's going to be the left going under, over the first loop, under the second. This strand's going to go under, over, under, through the loop to the front. Tighten it up. And I'm probably just going to fast forward after this last instruction how to loop them, and then I'll tell you a little bit more once I get down to the end, which isn't going to take long. So you're going to take the left, go under, over. This one you're going to go over the standing strand, under the loop, over the loop, and then to the back. Now I'm not too worried about the extra length here. I'm not worried about how much I'm wasting. I'd rather have too much instead of too little, because I don't want to restart over again, honestly. So I'm just going to fast forward and get to the end. Another nice fact about this braid is that it's very easy to deploy. It's just basically a series of loops. You're going to be able to deploy it just by pulling on it, which I'll show you now. So you have one strand. Just want to show you that. Now, since I'm towards the end and it's getting sort of hard to put the lines through, I'm just going to use a tool, hopefully make a little extra room. As you can see, making a little extra room for the last few strands to go through. Okay, now that I really don't have any extra room to go, I'm just going to pull these pieces to the back. Careful not to scratch your watch. Take your time on something like this. You're working with something a little bit more nicer than a $5 watch. Alright, now you got all the strands in the back. Pull them tight. I'm going to see if I can't run them underneath these. Finally got those done. Now I got them all cinched. up and down. Tighten them all up again. Cut them to what length you need them. Now, you want to torch the rest just to get them down and put them underneath those. So, alright. Now, it's not the cleanest paracord burn, but, you know, it's okay. I'm not too worried about it. So, it's basically, now you got your watch now. Instead of these, you're gonna have these nicer paracord bracelet. I think it's a lot nicer than this, personally. So, let me know what you guys think. I think I did pretty good, and it's gonna look pretty awesome as a watch band. So, here it is. Just have to shape it a little bit. But yeah, it'll turn out really good for a watch band. And the nicest part is that this is adjustable, so if you're not quite the size that you made it, you can actually adjust it a little bit. More adjustability than just making it for a perfect fit. So hopefully you liked it. This is in Mitica 1517, I think, and I hope it works out pretty good for the person I made it for. So let me know if you like the video. Let me know if you want more like this, or you know, anything like it. Like I said, the nice part about this is that you can remove this backing and really nothing in the way, not making it so much thicker on your band, rather than this putting something like this on it and then strapping it down would make it really bulky and probably hit a lot more stuff. So let me know what you think, and like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.